Welcome to part 2 of the subareas series. So we've covered some of the basics about subareas. Now I'm going to start getting into some of the specific use cases where you can apply your subareas. So first we're going to start by looking at how to apply different settings for different areas. So you see I've already got 3 boundaries here in my layout. Now I could come in and select this boundary and generate, but however when I do that, it's going to only run in this area and everything else will disappear. And then if I come to this big boundary and try to run something there, this that I've already done will disappear. So in order to have these things simultaneously on our site, we're going to want to use sub areas. Start back from where we were before, and I'm going to come up to my buildable area, and we're going to come right down to add new sub areas. This time I'm going to select from scene, and I'm going to be selecting a pre-existing boundary and making it into a sub area. So let's start with the smallest one, and let's say in this case we are using fixed tilts in just that section of the layout. So I'm going to come in and add a couple fixed tilt configurations. Okay, that should be good. And of course, since this is fixed tilt, I'm going to come over to my equipment rotation, and I'm going to set it to a 90-degree rotation because it will need to be running east to west instead of north to south. And I'm also going to increase my row height. Okay, and then I'm going to generate my layout. So now you can see I have all of my fixed tilt arrays here, and I still have my trackers in my other 2 sections. Notice that this line has gone around and captured all of the equipment to create that sub area. Now I want to make a second sub area, and I'll come down to this bottom section, and maybe I want to use a different wiring scheme. I'll make these string inverters. So I'm going to go through here and make the appropriate changes, and of course come over to my offsets, make those changes as well. Note there is a video on string and central inverters that you can watch to get more in depth on the settings and why I'm setting them the way I am. I'll link it in the description. For now, I just want to show you the difference in how the equipment is laid. Okay, so now since I have 3 boundaries and 2 are currently sub areas, I could also make another sub area for this remaining boundary. For now, it's being left in an unallocated sub area, so I could then come in and make whatever adjustments I wanted to in here. Say, for example, I want to change up which 3 lengths I'm using, so I'll come in here and make those adjustments, and then I'll hit OK, running it just as an unallocated sub area. And in this case, I'm using a central inverter. Okay. And as I noted in the first video, as I swap back and forth between sub areas, notice that the changes in the layout panel are reflecting what the last generation was. So in sub area 2, we've got our string inverters. I go back to sub area 1. I've got fixed tilts. All right. So I've got my desired result where I have one sub area that's using central inverter fixed tilts, one sub area that's using central inverter trackers, and one sub area that's using string inverter trackers. In the next video, we'll get into another way that sub areas can help you with your project. Thanks for watching.